Song for a Whale, Chapter 42. Cold water knifed my face as I dove into the bay. For as long as possible, I stayed under the surface, pushing through the water while aiming for the spot where I'd seen 55's blow spout. My lungs screamed for me to breathe. I lifted my head for just a second and inhaled like I'd never get another breath, then ducked below the surface again. With eyes wide, I scanned the waters around me for Blue 55. I kicked the water, reaching for a growing shadow ahead, not stopping until the whale was right in front of me. This wasn't how I planned to meet him, but it was happening. No picture I'd ever seen could compare to seeing the whale up close. He didn't seem quite real before, when he was just an image on a screen or a photo on my wall. I floated in the bay, staring into the whale's dark eye, impossibly small for such a huge animal, no bigger than the palm of my hand. But when I gazed into its depths, it was like 55 was showing me everything he'd ever felt and everything he'd ever seen. He stared back. Was there recognition there? A connection? Did he have any idea how far I'd come for him? It didn't matter anymore. We were there together. I'd found him. He'd never know what he meant to me, but that was okay. I didn't speak his language, and he didn't need to be fixed. He was the whale who sang his own song. We circled, studying each other. I surfaced to take a breath. The orange boat from the tagging expedition was headed in our direction. I'd have to join them soon, but I wasn't ready to leave the whale I'd been chasing for so long. Blue 55 wouldn't need to breathe again, maybe not for another 20 minutes. He waited, hovering beside me each time I surfaced. We were almost close enough to touch, but maybe he'd want to keep some distance. He didn't swim away, just glided around me, keeping his eye on mine. I held out my hand. Those waters were his home, and I was his guest. I'd traveled more than 4,000 miles to meet Blue 55. The last few feet would be up to him. He drifted closer, closing the gap between us until his face brushed my fingertips. I slid my open hand alongside his body, the dark gray blue skin. His parents had given him their colors, but neither could give him their language. So he made his own. And I'd have just a moment to share mine with his. I rested my hand on his side, then tapped out his name. 55, 55, 55. You're a poem. Did you know that? A new poem came to me just as easily as if Grandpa were signing it with me. I kept my hands in the 5 hand shape, but closed the fingers together, a good shape for ocean waves and music. Your music sailed through the ocean and over the land and carried me here. Sing your song. I will never write down the poem. It belonged to this whale, and I'll leave it here in the sea, where it will live in the space above and below and around him.